by Jason William Lee on Amazon Co. UK. Bob had finished. He had lots of piles of money all over the table. It was like being in the home of a brilliant bank robber, thought Charlie. It was a real Aladdin's cave. There must be £500 here, said Tinker in amazement. More like a few thousand, said Bob, who looked on proudly. And I won it all, he said, all with the help of my little racing books. Help me to learn to do that, said Charlie, wide-eyed. Oh, one day, son, said Bob, scratching his bristly chin. It's the best job in the world, Bob said, but it's very hard, and it was hard to disagree with him. Tinker felt a little guilty, as he had always seen Bob as an odd tramp, and he was known for miles around as a waster and a drunk. But now Tinker knew that he was neither. He was an entrepreneur and a businessman. This money is top secret, Bob said to the boys, and don't tell a soul, not even the pigeons, he said with a fat wink. Or I'll have more friends than Father Christmas, and they'll all want a slice of my pie, he added. Charlie couldn't see or smell a pie anywhere, but then it dawned on him that Bob meant all of the money, and he felt foolish. Bob yawned a very big yawn, and he didn't even try to cover his mouth. All of this money counting has worn me out, he said, as he fell back into an armchair, deflated. Tinker and Charlie took this as a sign to go. It had been an enjoyable and informative visit. Tinker was pleased as it had taken his mind off his dad's passing and the funeral tomorrow. As they walked home, Charlie had a question which had been bugging him like a persistent fly. He had to ask, "What's an entrepreneur?" he said, dumbfounded. It was the oddest word that he had ever heard, and he couldn't even imagine how to spell it properly. Tinker laughed for the first time that week. "It's entrepreneur," he said. "My dad used to say it all of the time. It means businessman or self-made man." He explained. "Oh," said Charlie as he thought about it. "That sounds a lot like me," he then said. "I'm sure I made myself," he said, joking. "Yeah, you did," said Tinker, "and you made quite a good job of it too," he added. They both filled the woods with their laughter, and even the birds chirped happily, as if in agreement. "Hello, viewers." When they arrived back at Tinker's, they had a quiet dinner, and everyone knew that tomorrow was the funeral, and it hung in the air like an expectant cloud. The food didn't taste as nice as usual, and every sentence seemed forced and unnatural. It was obvious that they were all very worried. "Hello, viewers, please submit if you like my story." Everyone just wanted it to be over, but they didn't say it. That night, Tinker couldn't sleep. It was like he was on a stormy sea. No matter how much he willed himself to sleep, he just could not. All he could think about was the funeral, and it filled him with fear and horror. He did his best to think of a happy memory of his father, but it was difficult. And then one memory came back to him as clear as a newly minted coin. It was his 9th birthday, and his dad had come home from work, and for once he hadn't been drinking, and he looked excited. "Please sub me, viewers." "Look what I got," he said to a startled Tinker. He rustled through the box, and he brought something out which was an odd shape to Tinker. "What is it?" said Tinker, wrinkling up his nose and his brow. "It's a kite, Dumbo," his dad said, irritated. Tinker gulped, expecting a backhander, but none came, and he could see the excitement in his dad's eyes, and he didn't want to spoil things. "Get your coat on," his dad said. "We're going to see if this thing flies." Tinker rushed to put on his duffel coat, and he ended up putting it on the wrong way round. His dad shook his head in exasperation. "I'll be outside," his dad said, walking off impatiently as usual. Finally, they were in the back garden, and his dad took the kite out of its box. Tinker had never seen him look so excited. It was like he was handling buried treasure. He untangled the wires, and they stepped back and waited for the kite to come to life. It dragged along the ground, and then it sputtered and spluttered and jumped about helplessly. Tinker was worried that it wouldn't take off. He knew it would spoil his dad's rare good mood, and he did not want that to happen. Suddenly, the colourful kite took flight, and it soared into the grateful blue sky. "What a beauty!" his dad shouted, and he smiled the biggest smile Tinker had ever seen. It was a beautiful sight as it arced and whirled like a seagull in flight. Charlie was transfixed as his dad steered the kite like a sailor of the skies. "Look at it go," his dad said excitedly, as it soared over the smoky chimney tops and flapped in the wind like a bat free from a cave. Tinker felt his heart soar with the kite, and he felt truly happy. But unfortunately, it was not to last. Suddenly the sky was full of jealous grey clouds, and the kite struggled to stay airborne, and Tinker could see anger rising on his dad's face, and their brief moment of shared joy and togetherness came to an end. Tinker's heart burst like a defeated balloon. Hope you enjoyed it, viewers. Please sub me if you like it. And more to come. Nighty night, very tired.